Is a strong economy worth environmental risks?
I do not think it's worth the environmental risk. I think a strong economy in the short term helps people now, but if it's at the detriment of the future environment, I think that's very short-sighted. And I think it's easy to say I want what's best for me and my family now, but if that comes with 50 years from now when we're struggling to keep the earth afloat, no one's going to care that 50 years ago we had a good economy. So, I mean, I think there has to be a balance, but we have to think to the future as well.
No, because there's no economy if we don't survive. Like, it's so obvious. If we're all dead, it doesn't matter. And yeah, like the economy is secondary. That's a sort of construct, and it's, let's look at people's survival and the way people are living and the environment. And do we want to kill everything just to have a so-called economy that we're not going to survive? Like, look at what's happened in BC. It's going to be happening everywhere. So
I think we can look into into renewable resources more. We can invest more money into that. Obviously, it's a massive initial expense, but I think with time and a very long period of time, eventually we'll see benefits from that. But I think there are risks that we need to take, but I think we should be able to mitigate those and make the right decisions so we're not like actually just destroying our environment, because it's the only planet we have, right? So.
In the end, I think that really nothing is worth destroying our environment for. Definitely not executives, padding their wallets. And we are going to only realize that more and more in the future as we have to spend more and more money to reverse this damage, as we see especially people who are in poverty being affected way more by these changes in climate. And in the end, I just think that it's not a mutually exclusive thing. We don't need to, choose profit or the environment. We can think of strategies that will stimulate the economy while also not destroying the earth for a fast profit.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think there's solutions for the environment to be protected and for the economy to thrive as well. It just needs to be a balance, and there's times where you do need to sacrifice the environment, and there's times where you do need to maybe heed to that guidance as well.
I do not think, because I don't think we can have a strong economy with an environment that's in jeopardy. So the environment's actually my number one, concern about issues that we're facing as Canadians.
I think it's always a trade-off. I don't think you're ever going to be able to have one without the other. So if you want to have a stronger economy, there's going to have to be some concessions made on the environmental side, and vice versa. I don't see where it can be all one or the other.
Yeah. What do you say, sir?
I'm in for the strong economy. I think that's more important for us.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, environmental is important, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure people have employment, they have good housing opportunities, they have good educational opportunities, and we do live in a privileged country, but unless you have full employment and the economy strong, then all these other things you can't actually do anything about them.
So a strong economy, maybe will get you, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But in the end, the environmental piece, that's something that's going to last beyond that. So are we thinking short term, or are we thinking long term? What are the needs now versus what are the needs of the future? So I would say it's not either. It's kind of an in-between that still hasn't been figured out yet.
I mean, I do believe climate change is a really big deal. I do think that we do need to step up our game. I do think that we are on the right path though, but I think we can be doing a lot more. But yeah, I do strongly believe in climate change, and I do think that in the next few years something needs to get done. Otherwise, the next 50 years will be disastrous for sure.
It's always about the balance. I don't think that we should fully go into the environmental side, because there's always the economic that's going to impact people, again, who are in poverty and the actual life that people live. But I also don't think you should sacrifice the environment to benefit the economy, but I think there's a balance that can be made between the two.
I don't think it's worth it, because the more you spend the health of the planet, you won't be able to use it after to make money. So I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't think it's worth it. They should they should take care of the planet, not their wallet.
Absolutely not. I think there's definitely much more that we need to do, especially climate change right now. It's no longer just a looming issue. It's a health risk, and we're seeing that in BC. We're seeing that with the fires, with the floods. No amount of, economic growth is worth losing millions of lives. I think Canada needs to do a better job.
I don't think a strong economy will be sustainable without a proper environment. But I also, we can't fix everything overnight right now. So, if people don't have money in their pockets, they can't buy responsibly.
Our government just thinks about money, which that's not worth it. Yeah.